Well, welcome to the semifinal, category B semifinal between TitoFanClub in the odd colors and MP, or Mercos Perros, I think, in the even colors. Awesome stuff. Two teams we've casted a whole bunch to lately because, well, they've been winning their playoffs, so they kept advancing, and now they're at the semifinal, the last hurdle before the finals. And which of these teams is going to make it to the category B finals then? Well, we will find out right now. So, in the blue, we have Tekka playing as the Britons. In the green, we have Linkin Park playing as the Berbers. In the teal, we have Toby playing as the Burgundians. In the gray, we have Capitan Orojita playing as the Ethiopians. Very good. On the other side, for MP, we have Oveja playing as the Vietnamese. In the yellow, we have Kalechi from Buedo playing as the Persians. In the purple, we have Leikoni playing as the Huns. And then last but not least, we have Matasiete playing as the Japanese in the orange. Awesome stuff. So, now we didn't have a... we didn't have a civ draft and a map draft for these teams. Unfortunately, I didn't have the link, so I don't know what civilizations were banned. Things like that, but I can guess, right? For one, Britons wasn't banned, that's for sure. But I'm not seeing Mayans here. I'm not seeing Mayans here, so I'm gonna assume that was probably banned then. Also, not seeing Franks, likely to be banned as well. You know, those are very strong civs. You get 5 bans each. Very likely that at least someone, or at least both people, ban those civs. And that's how you end up with a civ like Japanese, right? Now, I don't want to trash a civilization that Spirit of the Law really likes, because Japanese is a really decent civilization, but it is not the best flank civ. I mean, I don't think anyone is going to disagree with me on that one. Like, if you have Mayans instead of Japanese, I think you'll be much happier with that. So what this might mean is either that there weren't a lot of flank civs available anymore, or that MP decided we want to save stronger flank civs for later on. Because although you have basically free pick beyond the global bans, right? Free picks of civs, like you can have the same civ as your opponent. You can't have repeats, so you still have to think, when do I want which civ, like what map? Like, if this is going to be a long series, are we going to have good civilizations by the end of it? You really got to strategize like that. So, sorry about sorry about Gore about the schedule command. That is not the right schedule. I didn't actually update the schedule command, and I don't know how to disable it, or at least I didn't. So it's the wrong schedule. My bad. We only have this set today, and there's another set. Maybe depends on whether Neo uploads their series or not. Also, welcome to the chat. At least Twitch says it's the first time chat. Yeah, so is there any other civilizations we need to talk about? I mean, for the rest, most of these civs are quite standard, like Persians and Huns as a combination are a great combination, I would say, because it's a camel civ and a good knight civ combined, right? Like, and especially having the Huns bonus of faster working stables, very nice. On the other side, Ethiopians, no complaints there, of course. Burgundians is a more tricky civ. They are good early on, like mid-game is... the Discord link is expired. Damn it. Yeah, that's the thing with Discord. I'm actually not really sure how good... Like, I always forget, like, how to get the Discord link well. Yeah, I'll just give you this there. That should allow you to find me there. That's my username, so hopefully you can find me there. In any case, so with Burgundians, right, it's mid-game is their strong suit when they can make use of their early economy bonuses and things like that. It's just because they like bloodlines, the longer the game goes, at some point you get to fully upgraded paladins for, say, the Huns player, and that's when Teal kind of will drop off, or Persians as well, because you don't have bloodlines, and that really starts to hurt. Berbers I really like, and then for blue here, Britons is, of course, Britons is just one of the best, if not the best flank civ in the civ in the game. I mean, if you look at economy, if you look at the archers, you know, the role that it's supposed to play, It's just very nice. As ooh, blue, blue, you are being very ballsy here because that villager did not have loom for a second there, and orange could have decided to snipe that. That would, I think, if you had started attacking that in time, it would have been good. And how you doing, Paco, man? How you doing? I'm good. How are you? Well, we just had some hiccups with the game, but I'm glad to get started here, get into some good gameplay here. Oh, yeah, right. We should talk about some resources, man. Oh, I'm glad you're doing fine, too. Good to hear that. So, resources-wise, we got a big pile of gold right there. You're late. Well, you still made it in time, right? The stream's not over, so you're not late, man. Not for some good gameplay. It's only the first game of this set, so you're just in time for that one. I got some forward gold for orange. I'll just quickly wrap this up because we're already getting into feudal age. Back gold for orange, another gold down here. So he's got some options. He's actually gone to the back gold. As for it varies though, and is sending some militia, soon to be men-at-arms forward as well. And Japanese men-at-arms are dangerous, man. Are very dangerous. Sent me the friend request. Blah 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 blah. Let me check that. Friend request. Pending. Boom. I accepted that, so you can send me the stuff now. And thanks, by the way, for doing this for me. I really appreciate that. Of course, I mean, you know, it helps you too, because then I can actually cast your whole games then. As orange is going to make it to the gold there for blue. Blue kind of quick-walling this to delay that, but he's still not going to be up on gold. And now the archery ranges are at risk of being delayed as well, as purple and orange are definitely working together here. And the thing is, fighting any man-at-arms, sure. Fighting Japanese man-at-arms, no. Just a big no. Just a big no. I think I just accepted your friend request, so it should be good now. As blue's going to try to drop an archer range here, is trying to keep this out. Very nice quick walls there, making sure the man-at-arms can't get in, so the archer ranges will go up, which means that at least you can defend yourself. Now, gray also had militia, I think. We didn't really get to look on this side because I had some other stuff to talk about. I just don't know where they are right now. I guess oh, they're right there. Is done? Perfect. Okay, I'll check that in between games. And thanks for that, man. Really appreciate that. Now the thing with fighting men-at-arms with scouts is that it makes your scouts weaker, obviously. So men-at-arms are quite capable of doing a lot of damage to scouts, and it means that in the scout fights that will ensue between you and your opponent's pocket, you will probably have less HP overall. As orange makes it into the berries there for blue, and the villagers are trapped as well. And these are Japanese men-at-arms. They attack so much faster than normal men-at-arms. They're super dangerous. I mean, in an archer role, I don't particularly like I don't like Japanese especially, but the men-at-arms opening is one of the most dangerous in the game. Cannot underestimate that. And blue is yeah, blue's a bit on the back foot here. He's even taking his risky gold out there because he just couldn't go to his main gold right now. So that's nice for him as well. And luckily for him, I don't think orange and purple have just about found that, which allows blue to get his archers out and at least maybe defend himself a little bit here. Yeah, green should get his scout numbers up as well because blue is in a pickle right now. Yeah, still defending himself with some scouts there. And thank you, Calico. I will have a good casting. And I will enjoy myself, that's for sure. Purple still harassing blue everywhere, taking some scouts out from green. And all in the meantime, you know, orange will be able to get his walls up, will be able to get some archer ranges up, and just peacefully add some archers. No rush anywhere. I mean, the men-at-arms should go down sooner or later, but oh, blue losing his archers. Man, this has not been the start for blue. It's been a horrendous start for blue. Like this might be a bit of first game jitters, you know, like that. It happens to the best of us here as blue is actually going for it with some still has some archers, but is about to lose those as well because purple is like, that is nice. Let me eat those for breakfast. And there they go. Men-at-arms are still fighting in the back of blue's base. You know, this is all just good obstruction, and he might actually find. Oh, he's gonna find the gold now. He saw it with his scout. He's like, oh, that's where you're taking gold, you sneaky sneak. Probably going to tell purple as well that that's where the gold is being taken. And blue is now, no, he found me. On the other side, we got a bit more of a meta fight as the men-at-arms for gray did not do that much damage beyond weakening the scouts for yellow, which is a good thing because yellow has way more scouts than teal does right now. as both scout players decide to attack the archers on the other side, which is better for yellow and red because yellow has way more scouts and can kill more archers, but yellow does lose his scouts. They were weak after all, and now it's just a little bit of an archer micro battle, which in the end, yeah, it's so even, it's barely worth mentioning here, as blue gets pushed off a gold by the scouts and the archers from orange, and man, blue is in a rough spot, in a very, very, very rough spot. He luckily has some archers. It's good that he did go out to this gold, you know, just so you have some gold, because he couldn't take gold on the left side, right? But yeah, man, so many villagers go down there, and orange and purple will be very happy with their position right now. Not as good, I mean, the position for red and yellow is not as good on gray and teal. Like, teal's on the way to Castle Age with his good economy, but so is yellow. So it's quite even on this side. But on this side, the right side, blue is a bit flabbergasted, I'm sure, by the amount of pressure that came his way here. Looking at his economy, he's not going to be able to click up to Castle Age. I mean, too quickly here. He might invest in more farms then and try to get up as fast as he can. Maybe orange will leave him alone for a sec. But yeah, orange has the better archer numbers. Purple has the better scout numbers as well. Green did get upgrades on his scouts though. That makes sense to me because green going up the Castle Age right now would be a really big risk. Because their position is so bad. Like, blue is in such a rough spot. If green doesn't make some scouts with upgrades to help him there, yeah, blue might be in trouble. But purple is on the way to Castle Age, so it's going to be, you know, you're going to get some knights out in your face sooner rather than later. And scouts, upgrades or not, are still not going to do well against knights. On the left side, we still have a little bit of a micro battle here between the two players. We got archers with more HP versus archers that fire faster, which Ethiopian should be the better civ, but red still making it competitive here. 4v4 archers, yellow there with a scout to distract a little bit as well. Just one scout, you know, tanking some fire there, but gray with the good micro back, trying to keep away as best as he can. But the scout has upgrades, bloodlines as well as armor. So yeah, the archers for gray do go down, and gray still not in a position to push. TitoFanClub is just kind of on the back foot on both sides. Now blue is dropping a panic tower on a gold outside his walls, not even inside his walls like his main gold right now. Because he needs to keep his gold control. He realized that as well. I need to be able to make archers and defend myself. As orange now also clicks up, and orange sees the tower, knows the damage that he has been able to do here has been tremendous. It's been tremendous. Japanese against Britons, Britain should win that in the archer fight. But if you get this much of a lead with the earlier aggression, man, that's competitive. Well, orange is going to go up to the Castle Age here. He's going to have a nice army of archers, and blue is going to be forced to take gold over here. And I hope that he's going to wall. I hope he walls this. He needs to wall this. And I mean wall this. Like, you might even just stone wall this at this point. Like, you can't boom anyways. Might as well use stone walls, right? Just get that right side secured, so at least you can take your gold securely. Because you just know that that purple, as soon as he gets to the next stage and gets his knights out, he's gonna go right for that gold. Because they know exactly where he's taking. So honestly, like, I would commit to stone walls right here. Just stone wall this off. Because you're already committed to a tower, right? Like, stonewall it off, make sure you have gold. That's the number one directive. Because now, well, this army is about to show up here, and it's a bunch of knights as well. And that is when your tower won't save you anymore, because knights can just sit right underneath that tower and destroy it. As orange is actually going to dive the tower as well. Blue will have to run away now with his villagers, and it's just... the nightmare just continues, and it just gets worse and worse for blue. Like, if blue was already on the back foot right now, like, he's just not in a position to push ever. Like, he's up to Castle Age. That's already a big feat, but no gold control, man. Oh, Lakona, you sent me the missing replay Ghost City. Oh, okay, so that was Zio that Phantasma. That was the game. Thank you, man. That's yeah, thank you that you guys both helped me there. I really appreciate that. I will check that between games, and we'll get it all sorted out then. Right now, though, I'm sure you want to see yourself destroy blue here. Say hi to yourself. No. But yeah, poor blue, man. Poor blue. It's just been constant pressure here, and it's really good. So even if red and yellow aren't, like, really, like, killing gray just yet, right? I mean, gray's still... okay, the fact he is up to Castle Age so late definitely doesn't help him here. He will definitely be on the back foot as well. But yeah, blue is just in a horrendous position, man. It doesn't really have that many safe wood lines. He's actually taking wood right here. The economy is just bad overall. It's gonna come down to yellow to green here to send in enough knights to keep blue alive, and then hope, have big hope that red and yellow make a big mistake on the left side, lose their armies or like delete it accidentally or something like that, and gray and teal actually get the push there. As now, yeah, teal can't even take a fight against red because red is perfectly happy sitting in this nice choke point created by gray's own buildings. It's just looking pretty dicey now for TitoFanClub, man. Tito, like, that's just... it's just, yeah, I mean, when you're not pushing on either side, like, when you're being pushed on both sides like this, what do you do? What do you do? As they're even going to bypass blue now. They're just like, okay, blue's kind of in a bad spot anyways. How about we just go to green then? And hit him. And green will have to defend himself with whatever knights he has, which he's actually sending to blue right now. As gray, the walls broke down, and yellow makes his way into gray's base, helped by red. And man, if they lose this fight here before gray gets his upgrades, which he just got his upgrades, Buccaneer is not quite in here, but I think now it's in, so at least there's that. But is the damage done already? Is the damage done already? As gray is just losing more and more crossbows, whereas red is sniping his way up the hill here, killing more Burgundian cavalry here. I think yellow will lose his knights at least, so maybe red. Yeah, red. Oh, red instead is gonna go for the gold villagers. That's pretty smart, actually. You know you can't really beat the archer player on the hill. Instead, just go for the gold villagers and stop his production. Red still has more units as well. Is microing. It's trying to micro. Gray's not really microing this at all. At the same time, a big fight being taken over here by green and blue. Blue doesn't even have the crossbow upgrade just yet. Has block and arrow though, but no crossbow. And orange is just happily sniping villagers left and right. Red loses his army in the back of gray's base finally, but the damage has been done, man. He's been off gold. He's lost a lot of army. Teal's lost a lot of army. It's just been the pressure has been smothering, man. Like, I am even like at a loss for words here, man. Like, it's just been so much pressure, just insane aggression here, and like there's not been a moment to breathe for blue and green to pick themselves up, you know, pick up the pieces. Same thing for, I mean, a bit to a lesser degree for gray. You know, he's been under pressure for a long time, but at least the army didn't get in until the end there. He's still alive. More alive than blue, I would say. If you look at the vill counts now, not looking too hot there for TitoFanClub. Especially green's vill count is getting rapidly lower here. 35, 32. He's still losing villagers, and it's just after this, green will not be able to defend himself, and it's going to come down to teal and gray, and they're not in a great position to push either. Yeah, I mean, it might just be a bit of first game jitters, you know, like you don't exactly know what to expect from your opponent, right? Like you're still still trying to get a feel for one another, like how good are we, what can we expect, but man, did MP show they showed up to play. Let's just leave it at that. They showed up to play here. And TitoFanClub, they will know. They will have to definitely address that early aggression from MP if they want to have a successful series here, and they of course do. Now, gray and teal are looking to do some damage forward, but look at the confidence here for red and yellow. DCing that goal, that's confidence right there. That's knowing that your team's in the driver's seat, and they are in the driving seat. I mean, look at the vill counts, much higher than anyone else. Blue and green are absolutely dead, and now purple and orange are just going to make their way right into teal's base. Teal will have to send back his army, which is actually fighting over here right now, trying to win a fight against yellow, which... I mean, the fight is alright, it's alright, but the thing is, if you lose all your cavalry there, then you won't have anything to deal with this. And Teal's just going to lose his economy as well. And we know that Toby is a spammer boy. He likes to spam his cavalry, but can't do it if you lose your economy, if you go down to 65 bills, and compare that to 100 for purple there, 90 for yellow. This game is GG. Yeah, especially if your armies go down here on the front. This is, yeah. I mean, right now they're probably playing on a bit just to like recollect themselves. But yeah, the GG is called. Like I said, this is GG. There was no way back from this one anymore. Just a very strong, no bullshit performance there from MP. I mean, what can I say? It's just been one big snowball in total, and like at no point did TitoFanClub really gain a position where I say, okay, now it's like an even game again. Like just none. Like it's just been instant pressure from MP, especially on the right side. Like the man-at-arm opening was fantastic. I mean, if you're gonna pick Japanese, this is what you do it for. This is how you get a lead with Japanese against Britons, and you keep that lead. You know. And Blue just like he kept having to defend. He tried his best. Like the defense for Blue was really good. Like he went to gold instantly when he was pushed off of this one. He didn't like say, "Oh, I'll just wait for a miracle until I can get back to my goal." He didn't do that. He tried to go to this gold. That's good because then you can make archers. You can keep making archers. I mean, at least defend yourself. The problem was that the pressure was just smothering. Yeah, and Green wasn't able to help enough with scouts as well. So Blue and Green were already on the back foot there. But on the left side, Grey and Teal, despite it being even, they still, I don't know, Red and Yellow still had a slight lead there. And then when they got into Grey's base before Grey got his upgrades, that was a killing blow as well. Like that was the moment when Grey lost all his momentum. That's when, even when they came forward to push, their armies weren't very big. And Yellow and Red were fine with that. Taking 50-50 fights at that point was fine for them. That's the only thing they had to do. Because Purple and Orange were already pushing right through everyone else's bases. And that's the GG. I mean, that's just a dominant performance. So yeah, well, it was not the longest game either. So that was really well played. Really well played. I'm definitely impressed there. Now, I know TitoFanClub is a really good team though, so I know that yes, they lost, but they'll tell themselves, okay, we got Bastion on this map. That's fine. Let's go to our home map now, and we'll kick their ass there. And that's exactly what they're going to be doing now. Now. Let's look at the statistics real quick here. This should definitely tell you, yeah, Jesus Christ, 104 versus 35 kills. Jeez. The fights on the left side were really good. On the right side. On the left side was more even, right? You can tell the KDs are closer together. It's an even game. That's like one of those, things that can swing. The pendulum can swing either way. On the right side, though, no, it was a slaughter on the right side. That's pretty clear. And this is the only thing that matters as well. I don't really care about the economy just now, but like fill counts, look. Because of the insane pressure, Green wasn't able to boom because he had to spend more resources to try to defend, and then he got hit by the raids, and that, or just a frontal attack, really. Didn't get the boom like Purple and Yellow, and this is the difference right there. That's why it's a snowball. As you can see, because as you invest more economy to get military out, you fall further behind. And that just gets worse and worse and worse. So, GG. That's a good game. Now, we are going to go to the second map, which will be the home map for TitoFanClub, if I'm correct there. In the meantime, though, let me quickly check my Discord here. Because two players were kind enough to send me the game files here, so let me get that. I'm not going to restart my game just now. We'll do that when the fourth game comes up. So thank you, you guys, for sending me the right games there. Any case, let's go to the second game, which will be, let me check, that will be on Pagoda, like I said. Now let's make sure that I have the right one. Well, I actually have 3 copies right now, if you want to believe it. So I don't think it matters which one I pick. So here we go. Maybe this. What if one of them is better than the others, despite it being a copy? I'm just joking. Anyways, welcome to the second game here between MP and TitoFanClub. This should be the home map for TitoFanClub. Unfortunately, there's no way for me to know that because I didn't have the map draft. Oh no, it was the wrong file. Wait, okay, wait. We'll try one of the others then. Hang on. We'll try another one then. Because I have 3. One of them should work, right? Because I think if it drops that fast, then... Let me just test this out. Nope, that's the wrong one as well. Now I'm scared. Is this the right one? 3 times the charm, maybe? No, Damn it. So all 3 files that I have right now are the ones with the restart. Oh, that sucks. Can you guys help me out just one more time then? Getting me the right pagoda file here, because I don't have the right one, it seems. Damn it. I thought we had this now. Yeah, unfortunately. So I'm gonna delete those replays, so at least I know those are the wrong ones. Let's see, get rid of that one as well. And get rid of that one. Okay, so yeah, if you guys can get me the right file, otherwise I'll just have I will have to skip it. Like this, yeah, there's no way around it, of course. Otherwise, around. Like I know they said the team members, they said that there was some problems around this game. Clearly, right, because people kept disconnecting. So you know, internet is a real issue, and the servers for DE are sometimes a bit fickle. So yeah, that makes sense to me. But yeah, if you guys can send me the file right now, then I will still cast it. Otherwise, I will just have to move on to well, the next game, because there's definitely going to be a third game. That's not a spoiler. That's not a spoiler for sure. So, Leikoni, you still in chat? Or Calacero? Either of you, if you have the right second game file, you know, that'd be nice. Else, we will move on to the third game, and then we'll just I'll just have to do some editing magic when I upload the video to YouTube. What I'll do then is once I get the right game file, I'll cast it off stream, right, and I'll edit it in really awkwardly and goofily, where it's obvious that it's edited in, you know. But you know, that's fine. Well, because if I'm not getting a response, I am gonna just go on to the next game then. That's too bad, but I do want to move on, because I don't want to get too stuck on the same issue here and sit and wait. Which is exactly why I hate casting live tournaments, man. Oh, you're here? You're here? Okay, so the files that I had for Pagoda, as you saw, you know, they were the ones with the disconnect. So do you have the one where it's not a disconnect? Like, I'll have to restart my game anyway, so let me just do that already anyways, because I have to restart it for the fourth game. So if you could test it out as well, that'd be nice. That way we can be sure that it is the right game file. Because it's gonna take a while now anyway, so we might as well make sure we do it correctly this time around. And again, sorry for the hold up. This is something I'll edit it out of the video, obviously. You don't have that replay because you didn't play the game. Aw. Okay, well, maybe if someone else has it, that'd be nice. Make sure that I have everything correctly here. There we go. Yes, the captain for it. You didn't play either, so neither of you played. Oh. Okay. Do you do you think he's gonna like respond in like a good, like, do you think he's gonna respond soon, or how long do you think it will take? Because I mean, I would be fine in theory just to switch to switch around the sets, just for, because we kind of have to do something, you know. There's no way around it. That's fine by me, but yeah, if you have an ETA on that, that'd be nice. That way I'd at least know what we're dealing with here. Oof. I'm getting hot from all this shenanigans. This is exactly why I am always a bit nervous about doing stuff live, because you can imagine that problems are even worse when you cast live games, man. Like, that's why a lot of tournament organizers just like to do their tournaments with recordings. Yeah, You know, because then you should, in theory, avoid all of that. But as you can see, there's no guarantee, of course. You know, problems do arise. Before you responded fast, but you don't know. Well, okay. Here's what we'll do. We'll just go to the third game. If he responds, just let me know. And then we'll just, for now, we'll just have to skip the second game then. If you still get around to the second game, I'll cast it, obviously. We'll just pretend it's the third game. We might end up with a weird score on the scoreboard, like, you know, if because the games are out of order now. But yeah. So let me restart my game here so I can because I no problem, it's okay. Well, I'm glad. I mean, in the end, you know, it's still it will work out. So let me get to the third game then, which will be. You see, that's now the thing is I don't know which of the teams won the second game. Don't tell me. So I'll just I don't know whose home map this is. So I guess we'll just have to pretend that we you know, we'll just ignore that for now. That's totally fine. So let's go to the third game, which will be on Kanagawa. Okay. Here we go. Let's get into this. I wanna keep casting here. Keep my energy levels up, and here we go. Kalakiro says that's fine. The match didn't last too long, huh? It's 1-1. Okay, well, that's okay. Well, we'll just make it 1-1 on the scoreboard then. I'm gonna have a fun time editing this for YouTube later, man. This is gonna be something. So, welcome to the third game, right? The third game between MP and TitoFanClub here. Yeah, we're just gonna pretend this is 1-1, and we totally know we have already seen all the games up until this point. In any case, so because it's 1-1, that means that the last game was lost by MP, which means TitoFanClub did in fact come back after their first game, you know, which was quite of a disaster for them. But looks like they were able to get their revenge and tied up the set, and that is the hallmark of an even set right there. When it's just 1-1 and then it's 2-2 and then at the final game is the deciding game, you know, those are the great series. So let's keep our fingers crossed and that it will go that way as well. Now, let me introduce the players whose home map this is. In the orange, we have Matasiete playing as the Saracens, all right? In the purple, we have Leikoni playing as the Lithuanians. No surprises there. In the yellow, we have Kaleke from Buedo playing as the Berbers. I like that. And in the red, we have Oveja playing as the Portuguese. On the other side, we have Teka playing as the Chinese. I like that. In the green, we have a new player there. We have Lunfardo playing as the Huns. In the teal, we have Toby playing as the Spanish. Ooh, interesting. And then last but not least, we got Capitan Orejita playing as the Vikings. I like that as well. Alrighty, got some solid civs right here. Now let me quickly explain Kanagawa for those who have not seen it before. Kanagawa is all about the golden pits in the middle of the map, or at least in the middle between the opposing flanks. There's two of them, lots of gold to be taken there. Definitely if for your late game gold control, you kind of have to do something, right? Now, if you want to control this gold, the question is, how do we do that? Now, a good way to do it is with castles, of course. And in a normal ranked game, you just mine some stone at your base and drop a castle, but wait a minute. There is no stone at your own base. That's right, no player starts with stone. If you want stone, you have to go out to the middle there, which is where all the stone on the map is right there. Let me get to guys' point of view. Very nice. There's also some relics here, something that the Lithuanian player will be very happy with, of course, you know, because you can get that nice attack bonus. And you know exactly where the relics are. But then again, so does everyone else. So it's quite, you know, once you see Lithuanians as your opponent, you kind of know what they will be doing in the mid game. You can easily stop that. Of course, stone control is going to be a thing later on as well. For the rest, players start with standard-ish resources minus the stone, so it's totally fine. You know, the other thing is that because the flanks start so far away from each other, you can use flank civs that normally need a bit more time, right, to be successful in games. I'm talking Portuguese, right, who have a very bad early game, but their late game it gets better. Chinese, who have a rocky economy at the start, you know, that is easy to destabilize. But if you can just wall up, you have some, you know, time. You know, there's some time and space between you and your opponent. Chinese, really nice. Saracens don't really need that, honestly, because it's just Saracens. They're fine. They're totally fine. And Steel and Grey are looking to get a snipe there. No loom on these villagers just yet, so I think Orange should probably get loom here just to be sure, because there's lots of scouts here. Or have Purple join, and then you're fine as well. For Grey or Vikings, again, they don't really need that early. They don't really need to keep their early economy safe, because they're fine like that. Like their early economy is it's okay. But the longer that you leave Grey alone, the stronger he gets. The stronger he gets. Because Viking economy is that solid. So as Orange gets the first hit in on the scout from Teal, so Teal will have to run away from that. And that's nice, getting some HP off of the scout from your opponent's pocket. That's pretty good there. Well, Blue is already walling up a bit. I mean, this is what the Chinese civilization does, right? Like, you wall up, keep out that early aggression even further, despite the fact that it's unlikely that you're going to encounter a whole lot of that early on. And the reason for that simply is that even if you want to go for men-at-arms, it's going to take a while before they arrive at your opponent's base, right? And by the time that those men-at-arms might get there, your opponent has walls or archers, and in that case, it's just a waste of investment. That's why few people would go for that. Few people, but of course you have your exceptions. You have your red exceptions right there. I'm seeing the flags, man. I'm seeing those flags. That is men-at-arms. Now, the thing is, I'm not sure how much Red has scouted here already. Let's look at the Red scouting, like what he can see. But he does know that Blue is walling. I don't know, and he doesn't know the extent to which Blue is walled, so that there's that. But that's the thing, right? If you're going to send these militia and men-at-arms forward, are they going to be able to break in? And right now, it looks like not really. I mean, Blue will get the backside walled as well. So what you really need here is the immediate follow-up, archers, right? So that you can stop Blue from walling behind. That's what makes a men-at-arms rush really successful in a game like that. So we'll see. Well, Red Scout is in village, so he could technically snipe a villager in even with loom, if it is alone, that is. Like an isolated vill you can snipe, but if it's villagers together, then no. But what this scout could do in theory, he could stop Blue from walling behind. You know, just block it with your scout and attack the villagers that are walling, right? As the men-at-arms make their way to the front, which... Where did the men-at-arms go, by the way? Oh, they're not men-at-arms, never mind. I think Red probably also realized that, that's probably too late for that. Let's not get that investment. We already made 2 militia. It's a bit late for that now, so we'll just pretend that never happened. Yeah, so I don't think you're going to get too much value with these now, especially as the walls are up. Yeah, so, I mean, I guess you can attack some buildings with it, and that's as good as it's going to get for these as well. Red especially doesn't have a lot of HP on his scout, so yeah. This is why, right? This is why most people wouldn't go for men-at-arms or militia on Kanagawa. Just for the very reason that it's just too easy for your opponent to get the walls up and protect themselves. I also like the team walling attempts here from Purple, and ooh, Grey is actually gonna go for some. Oh, he's gonna go for some team. If Grey actually went for some men-at-arms as well, and he actually did get the upgrade. You know, with Vikings they have more HP here, and Purple did quick wall that out, and one more. Oh, the quick wall fails. Hey, and Purple's gonna run away. Luckily for him, these are not Japanese men-at-arms, so they're not as strong, but still a force to be reckoned with, and also a nuisance because it's gonna distract Purple and Orange. You know, they will want to deal with that first before. As Grey has his men-at-arms from stand ground, did you see that? So Purple is trying to draw them into his DC, right? To shoot him with the DC fire. But that didn't work out. So, unfortunately for him, that means the walls aren't up yet, and Teal can just run in here and still do some damage. And Grey's going to be like, yeah, that's nice that you went for team walls, but that means I can walk right over to Orange's base there. So, oh well. Well, in the green, keeping his scouts a bit defensive there. The militia have done absolutely nothing. You know, that was no one expected them to be able to do a lot of damage here. You know, we knew that. And Teal for now is just looking for some kills. And ooh, that's a juicy villager right there that could get sniped, but I think she will live. Yeah, she was too close to DC. She will live. What's Gray doing? Gray is currently dying to archers, and this is also the reason why meta-arms usually don't do anything. Because by the time they get there, the archers come out as Purple does lose that villager. So that's a nice snipe for Teal there. He will be happy with that. But I think this is about the end of the forward there. I think the walls will go up over here. And Teal and Gray will probably just run outside. Maybe try to snipe a scout. Gets a scout, but it's going to lose another one. So... And Purple is also like, yeah, you're not going to escape, man. You can never leave. And this is something that bothers me, right? This is something that bothers me. So... the AI for villagers, right, is pretty smart. In Dark Age, when your villagers do not have Loom, they will run away from a scout because the scout can kill them. Once they have Loom, villagers will become aggressive if you attack them with a scout in Dark Age, right? Because they can win that. A Loomed villager can beat a Dark Age scout, so it automatically attacks the scout. But once the scout gets to feudal age, as red is hitting the woodline here, very nice. Once the scout player gets to feudal age, the scout gets more attack and suddenly kill a loomed villager again, and the villager will run away from the scout again. That is nice, but why does it run away from a scout with 2 HP? That makes no sense. Like, it should, I think that AI should not be, oh, I should run away from every scout in feudal age, but instead, if I'm being attacked by one scout that has less HP than is necessary to kill me, I should attack it. As, was that a hole? No, they just broke through, because Saracen bonus, that's what. As, Blue forced to drop a tower, he probably still has some post-traumatic stress syndrome from the last time he got army in his base here. And green has a bunch of scouts. Blue is on the outside, so red and yellow cannot leave this place, at least not without getting killed here. Orange and purple hanging out in the middle, gray and teal looking for a way into the base. So right now all eyes should be on the frontier as blue losing a few archers, or at least one archer I think, by killing 3 scouts. And that's really good because now green comes in and he's like, that's a nice archer army you got there, let me kill that. He's going to be annoying and sit in a choke point, but yeah, now he's run through, and I think green is going to chase that down with his scouts. He's got, what, how many scouts is that? 8 scouts. That should be more than enough to kill these archers, and red is going to wish he had, well, that he could have left earlier, but unfortunately that's not going to be his fate. Going to lose all these archers. Very nice teamwork there between green and blue. On the other side, we got orange now defending the walls for purple. You know, gray and teal are trying to break in, but they can't really. As purple is also looking to fight this from behind as well. Only 5 scouts though. One of them is kind of weak. Not a lot of upgrades on these either, so as in none. So he's looking for a good moment here. As Teal is distracted, but Teal is paying attention to this. He's paying attention to this as purple takes the fight. But orange losing a lot of archers there. Yeah, micro from gray just a little bit better there. And in the end, purple is going to lose his scouts, and orange now doesn't really have the force necessary to defend himself. But oh, has some archers on the other side, but this is good for orange, by the way, because let's see what happened, right? These archers were going to die. Period. Like, they don't live. Not with scouts with armor. But what he did instead, he focused down the archers from gray. So gray's archers are now weaker. There's fewer of them, right? Because you know you're not going to get to kill the scouts, but your pocket is going to be able to kill them with knights sooner or later anyway. So the scouts aren't your biggest issue. It's the archers. You got to get the numbers down from your opponent. That's more important than killing their scouts. Because, yeah, scouts can still break in and kill villagers, you know, like they are trying to do right now. Surely, yeah. But it's worse when you have 20 crossbows in your base. Because that's something that your pocket can't deal with. As purple swoops in to snipe some of these weak archers. And boop, 2 of them going down. And that is really nice. As orange quick walls in his goal to make sure that teal cannot get there. And teal, trying to kill some archers, wants to keep his scouts alive, runs away. Ooh, but this is good for teal though. These scouts do have upgrades. They have bloodlines and they have armor. And I think orange underestimated a bit how fast those scouts would die, losing a bunch of archers in the process. So in the end, yeah, orange and gray still with a similar number of archers now. I think they will be happy with that one. But the team wall has still, you know, has held so far for MP. You know, like that. Right, you know that I prefer the team wall, right? I prefer team walling because it blocks off more space from your opponent. They can't maneuver through that. However, if the team wall fails, if it falls, you know, if it never goes up, or if there's a hole in it, your opponent has way more maneuverability than when you would have had individual walls. So really, the safest one is to combine the two, right? To have individual walls and team walls. That's the safest. But that's a lot of walling investment. Not really worth it in most cases. So. Alright, walking forward, doesn't have upgrades quite yet, but then again, neither does Blue, so I guess he feels secure in that knowledge. But of course, you know, the Hunt player is in Gaslight. Could try to find a way, could try to find your archers, and if your archers get caught off guard by +2 knights, that's problematic. So that's why moving out when you're just about to get up to Gaslight is a risk. Especially when you see your opponent gets the Castellates before. So red right now, taking a risk there with his archers. But I think as long as yellow is here with his knights, it will be okay. Now this is the moment for Berbers to shine, by the way. Lots of gold available. Lots of, available knights that he can spam. And Berber knights are already cheaper, which means that with more gold he can spam even more knights. As yellow tries to get in here, but there is actually a hole right there. That is a hole, right? Okay, that should be a hole, but yeah, yellow losing a bunch of knight HP there. Yeah, that's a hole. That was a hole, but he decided not to go through it. That was probably not a good idea anyways. Especially with red being outnumbered there and also not having quite all his upgrades just yet. And here we have our little meta fight right now. And that means knights v knights, crossbow v crossbow. And the job of the poker player here is to tank as many shots as they can. Get +2 on your knights, which yellow has done. Green is not doing that so far. But green is busy getting, yellow is busy getting a town center up on the middle. Using that, that army to distract blue and green long enough to keep him away from this place, so that now when blue finally realizes, oh crap, there's a TC, it's too late to stop it. That TC will go up and yellow will have a nice position now. Blue and green will have to back up from this. Very good. In the middle though, purple is dropping a TC on the stone, and that is deliberate. He wants to get a safe space to drop to mine some stone, also get his relics, so his knights become significantly better than Spanish knights. And Spanish, they have fully upgraded cavalry, so they are not a bad cavalry civ, right? They get all the upgrades. It's all good. It's just they're just generic, right? Which generic is better than lacking upgrades, but still. Spanish are definitely known for their unique unit, right? It's iconic, really. It's the Conquistador, of course. But the thing is, if you want a Conquistador, you gotta have stone. If you want stone, you have to go to the middle, which is not something that Teal is thinking about right now. He's more interested in taking gold control. Not seeing any villagers come forward just yet, but they might be thinking about it sooner or later. As red is trying to drop a town center in the middle as well, and green and blue are anxious to stop that from happening, as yellow is now engaging against this ball of crossbows there from the Chinese player, but I think that's too many crossbows to engage here. And both green and yellow retreating to their respective archer player, as red almost a bit of miss micro there. And the numbers are very similar. I think blue has... No, it's exactly the same. It's 37 v 37. It's a nice snipe there. She goes down, but the town center goes up. So yellow and red do get some gold control over there as well. As now purple and orange, they double back to their own bases to address the threat here posed by gray and teal, as the bears are chasing teal and gray as well. Look at that, the bears are fighting as well as the teal. Makes short work of that one. University now for the Saracen player. That means he wants ballistics, which is probably a very important upgrade to get in fights like this. Now, blue wants to go to the gold as well, sending out a lot of villagers. He wants to get a TC up here at some point as well. Has some army to defend himself, so it's not like yellow and red could really stop this from happening without taking a pitched engagement. But red has more archers now. Red has more archers, but yellow has less knights than green. So I don't know. As gray and teal breaking their way into orange's base, killing some of his production buildings as well, which will make his army a bit weaker. And oh boy, oh boy. And blue has ballistics. Red does not yet. Yeah, that you can tell. That's a good spot there. Yeah, you can tell red does not have ballistics because that's a lot of missed arrows. But blue, he should have. Yeah, he definitely had ballistics because he shot that villager, which was nice. Blue also has the hill, which is a problem as well. As we now have a fight on the other side here with purple. More knights now than teal, and gray is microing away from this, trying to keep his army alive. In the meantime, they're using this, or at least gray is, to get a town center up in the middle, you know, while there's still time. I think at the end, purple does not have enough knights to clear this army up, so in the end, it's going to be quite even. And so we have a giant fight on the other side as well, between green and yellow, but yellow has less knights than green, so green should be able to win the knight fight, but red has more crossbows. It's also closer to the engagement than blue is, so more of its crossbows are consistently engaging. So in the end, it is a 50-50-ish fight. But now it's starting to be different. Lots of knights now down for yellow. Red not having ballistic probably not helping as well. Actually, he might have gotten ballistics at this point, because it's a university for him as well. Gray still holding orange and purple back from the middle, and this is good. It's allowing teal some time to get a town center up right in the middle of that gold spot. So it looks like MP will get the right gold, or at least contest that, share it with blue and green, and teal and gray will have a monopoly on the left gold. But stone, there's stone now for the Lithuanian player. He might start dropping a castle soon, and these knights already have 10 plus almost 6. 10 plus 5 attack. Jesus Christ. That's a lot of attack right there. There's literally nothing in Castle Age, cavalry-wise, that competes with Lithuanian knights, man. When they got 4 relics, it's crazy. Blue is also adding a mangonel here to keep red away from the main fight, so yeah. It's a precarious position right now as blue snipes some villagers as well. And, that was a close one. Close one. I think red now figures out, okay, there's a mangonel there, gotta be careful. On the other side, though, purple again fighting still with teal's knights. Teal doesn't have the knight numbers though, and this time around there is enough purple knights here to take the fight. And I think Gray is about to lose most of his crossbows here, which is a problem because he wants to have the map control in the middle, and now suddenly that map control might be lost. But orange should be careful there. Ooh, someone needs to snipe that mangonel. That purple is on it. Purple is on it. He will snipe that mangonel. Boom, we'll be very happy with that. Nice addition there for the Vikings player, but unfortunately, when there is knights on the field, it's very difficult to, really use mangonels there. These Lithuanian knights, of course, are also significantly stronger than they were before, because they have 10 plus 5 attack now instead of 10 plus 2. You know, it's 3 more attack, it definitely matters. On the other side, we still have a standoff, but blue does have some gold control. He has a town center up, but the thing is, blue doesn't have a castle. No possibility to get a castle either. Whereas yellow and purple, they could do that. As purple is perfectly happy now to take out the TC here from teal, but is losing a bunch of knights in the process. Although orange is doing a good job sniping a lot of knights from teal, and teal will have to abandon the gold right now. And the gold control for TitoFanClub is just wavering on the left right now. Absolutely, it's getting precarious right now. The crossbow mass for orange is much bigger than gray, and gray was just in Imperius, is just getting his upgrades and losing his entire mass. What a disaster! Ay, that is bad. The miracle has to come from the right now. And man, are these two giant armies gearing up for a fight here. Yellow and red know that if they get too close to the edge, that they're at a disadvantage. But they also know that on the left side, their team is winning. They just have to hold and potentially kick blue off of gold. That's their goal right now. They don't have to push blue's pace, but if they can push blue off of gold, they're happy. Castle now from purple. He's gonna, just make sure that no one can get the stone, and only he can get the stone. Gets his TC up finally, so he can take some gold, because I'm sure, they're about to run out of gold at their own base, so they have to do something there. And Gray, despite being an Imperial Age much before everyone else, doesn't have an army, and that is the worst part about being Vikings, is that is your window. That is your early window, right? Wait, what? No! They forgot to turn it to conquest. That's hilarious. So Leikoni here, he gathered all the relics, right? And now it's relic victory. So they actually, in 344 years, if the relics are still captured, purple wins. This is supposed to be played in conquest, so not standard victory condition. So this means that someone could also build a wonder if they really wanted to. I don't think you should be doing that though. I especially not if you're in TitoFanClub's position, because it's about to get really bad here for purple. For gray. Ay. Now the irony of the relic victory is that now TitoFanClub know exactly what's up, although they already knew that that the Lithuanian player had relics, obviously. But now they know where the relics are, which, you know, might prompt Purple to defend his monastery a little bit more here. The irony is now that TitoFanClub will be on a clock even more. I think Purple will probably eject the relic, you know, once we get close to the countdown, because that seems like the kind of thing that would get you or at least get that game disqualified from the record. But honestly, I don't think it would really matter at this point, because Gray is in a worse spot here. You know, he's just been wrecked right now. How many villagers does he have? 26. Hey, they're running away right now, trying to survive. But yeah, Teal will once again have to defend himself with knights alone. It's all coming down to the right side. If they cannot take an engagement here that is decisive, if they cannot get that decisive of an engagement, then all hope will be kind of lost for TitoFanClub, because they're just, the gold control here is not good enough to save the left side of the team. And the left side has just been a complete smash here. I think allowing the Lithuanian player to just sit here in the middle and take stone and get the relics, that was a mistake from TitoFanClub. Like, they got so focused on the sides that they forgot that the Lithuanian player is definitely going to go to the middle. And yeah, if they get 4 relics, they're still really dangerous, you know? Like, you still can't take a nice fight against these freaking knights. Like, it's 10+6. How are you supposed to fight that? Even if you have fully upgraded Paladin. It's still not gonna be nice for you, and especially the fact that, well, as a giant Saracen army in your base as well, you know, they will smash through any building of yours. Teal is waiting for his upgrade, has to yield most of his base here to Purple and Orange, who's just gonna smash. And Blue and Green, they've been waiting for a long time, and now Green is sending his knights back, trying to save Teal, but that means that Yellow and Red, if they want to, can take a fight here. The Rams are coming out as well. Are they gonna be capped Ram? They will be capped Ram as well, and poor Blue will have to defend on his own here, as Yellow is an imp, gets his upgrades. They're coming in right now, and here come the armies for Yellow and Red. And how can Blue hope to stop this? You know, even having to fight before his upgrades come in as well. Lots of crossbows already down, and if Blue's army goes down here, so will the gold control for TitoFanClub, and so will all their hopes of winning this game. Yeah, I mean, Purple isn't even an Imperial Age, and he can still beat these Cavalier. It doesn't matter. He's got way too much attack on these knights. And Green now forced to send his force back. Also not an Imperial Age as well. So Orange is very happy to just join the fight here. And look how fast those knights go down to Arbalest with the chemistry upgrade. Blue's forward position has been completely obliterated. And at that point, what do you do still? You can't even drop a castle in your own base to protect yourself. You just can't. And the GG is called. They realize that this will go to MP. MP winning on their home map. Very nice there. GG. It was a good game, though. It was a good game. I hope next time they realize not to put the victory conditions on standard, because otherwise we will get some wonder shenanigans, huh? But yeah, this was it's just well played by both teams. I mean, like, it was very competitive on this side. I don't think like Blue losing like this wouldn't have happened if Green was still here with his knights, right? Like, that's why Yellow and Red took the fight, because they knew we have Imp, we are faster there, and Green is not an Imp, and he's not even there, so we can take the fight. We can win this convincingly. Because Blue is on his own defending, because Green had to send his units back to take a fight that was a losing fight anyways, because you're up against Arbalest. Like, there's no good decision to be made here. Like, Green knows if Teal falls, then he will die after that as well. But if he goes away from the front, then Blue will die. Like, there's no good decision to be made here. As soon as Gray and Teal lost their position, that was it. And it was this fight up the hill here. It was this fight right there that was well, the turning point, let's leave it at that. It's when Gray, you know, they took a good fight here earlier, where Gray killed a lot of knights and, you know, had a lot of crossbows. But the knights for the Lithuanian player, they didn't have the relic bonus just yet. And Teal, he was just allowed to get the relics, allowed to mine stone, get a castle up and protect himself, to make sure that TitoFanClub could never go to stone. Got the relics, his knights had 10+5 attack, and suddenly they started winning fights way more convincingly than before. Gray then got his archer army smashed, and then another army got smashed before he got the Arbalest upgrade. And that is the moment, the window with Vikings, when you get up to Imp faster than everyone else. and you strike with Arbalest. That is their, their window. But that didn't happen this time around, because they took the fight just before that. You can probably tell, yeah. I see, Grey gets the Imperiates faster than everyone else. That's Vikings for you. That's it's 35 minutes of good economy, right? Or at least 25 minutes. Wasn't able to make it work though, unfortunately. So yeah, really good stuff by Purple and Orange once again dominating their side there. I must say that that Blue and Green, they would have had a shot there, but not when they had to split their forces. That was yeah. At that point, you were kind of dead. But in any case, we have some better economy overall, I would say, for MP here as well. If you average it out over everyone else, only slightly. Not like this was a pretty even game, except at the end, like the boom started kicking in here for MP as well. Something that Teal and Green couldn't really do, because they had to produce a lot of knights as well to catch up with that, because they were kind of behind, right? Like after that early pressure. GG. Well, we will go to the fourth game then. Let me update the scoreboard there in favor for MP. Let's see, that is scored. Alright, that's this one. Perfect. Alright, well. Let's see what that map is. Oh, wait, I know what that map is. That map will be on, yeah, that should be game 4. That is Ciudad Fantasma. Alright, the Ghost City. As the home map for TitoFanClub. Interesting, though. Now, keep in mind, though, that the first game, which was Patagonia, was won by MP. Ciudad Fantasma is very close. It's a close, look-alike to Patagonia. Like, they play out similarly, right? There's some gimmicks at Ciudad Fantasma that are different, but overall, they are very similar maps. So we'll see how that's going to work out then. Well, let's go then. And let's hope that this replay works. Boom. Alrighty. Perfect. So, welcome to the fourth game between MP and TitoFanClub. TitoFanClub now are in a precarious position. It's 2-1 for MP. If MP wins this game, they go on to the finals of Category B. But TitoFanClub, of course, have the last word on that one if they manage to win on their final home map, which is Ciudad Fantasma. So, let me introduce the players here of whose team, of the team whose home map that is. That's what I was supposed to say. Here we go. In the blue, we have Teka playing as the Mayans. Ooh, a strong Civ that they reserved then. See, that's what I was thinking. In the green, we have Lunfardo playing as the Teutons. In the teal, we have Toby playing as the Poles. And in the gray, we have Capitan Orejita playing as the Vietnamese. On the other side, we have Equis. I haven't seen him play yet. Playing in the orange as the Malay. Ooh, interesting pick. In the purple, we have Quarnete playing as the Teutons as well. Ooh, Teuton v Teuton. Then in the yellow, we have Cumans here for Laconie. And in the red, who is quite far away from yellow, actually, we have Oveja playing as the Bohemians. Alright, that's funny, but lots of people pick Bohemians on this map. I don't know exactly why this map in particular, but, in any case. So, there's some civilizations that I want to talk about. Like, for one, the matchup between purple and teal. If you think about it, it's kind of ironic, right? For one, Poles and Teutons, they definitely didn't get along very well. That's for sure. But also, right, is that Teutons, they are the heavily armored cavalry civ, and they're up against a civilization that is exactly the opposite. It's medium armored cavalry for the Poles player. So the Poles player can make, in theory, make a lot more knights, but the Teuton knights are going to be more durable because they have more melee armor. So that's actually a very interesting matchup right there. Let's see how that's going to go. Can the Poles player beat the Teuton player then? That's the question. Like, most people would probably say no, because the Teuton player has more armor and their knights are just better. But if the Poles player gets a castle up and gets a castle up and then gets more knights with Schlachter privileges, well, is there a shot? We'll see. On the other side, we also have Teutons, but he's up against Cumans. That's actually also that's also a funny matchup again with Teutons, because now it is Cumans, you know, the fast cavalry civ, versus Teutons, the slow cavalry civ, because Teutons don't get husbandry and Cumans get husbandry for free. They don't get husbandry either, but they get faster cavalry anyway, so it evens out. Their cavalry is going to be significantly faster than the Teutons cavalry. So again, can Teutons here beat Cumans? It's kind of funny. Now, as for the flank civs here, Mayans definitely should beat Bohemians overall. Although, right, Bohemians actually have a lot of tools to deal with meso civs. They have better hand cannoneers as well. And I noticed that hand cannoneers against Eagles, especially since the buff, not too bad actually. Not too bad. If you combine it with something in front, yeah, very good. On the other side, Vietnamese, very solid archer civ. Same thing for Malay, but Malay... you know, that's the joke that they always make. Malay, they need to delay because their early economy is kind of fragile. You go up so fast that really it kind of destabilizes your economy to a certain degree. But you do end up with more villagers, right? So it's a pretty solid early eco bonus, but usually that eco... Because Malay don't really have the strongest options early on, it's really later on that they have some more, like middle of the Gaslights, late Imperial, right, when they can go up faster than anyone else. That's when their moment to shine is as well. So we'll see. I mean, late Imperial Age is really good for Malay. I mean, you have a lot of options for that. Cheap elephants, forced levy, harbors, great fish traps, you know, arbalest, bomber cannon, things like that. Now, I don't think we're going to get to a point where forced levy becomes a thing, honestly. I don't think we're going to get to that point. Not with trade being a factor, but yeah. Let's quickly talk about Ciudad Fantasma as a map, shall we? So, it's named after this ghost city, or Ciudad Fantasma. In the middle of the map, as you can see, there's only 16 tiles that are either ruined city, or there's 4 of them where there's some berries and some extra gold that you could take. It's really only a late game thing, right? When you have the map control actually necessary to take resources from the middle there. Now, you might say, why aren't we picking Lithuanians here? Look how many white spots you have on the map. Oh, all the relics. Those aren't relics, those are barricades, and they are ghosts, because Ghost City, of course, has ghosts. And there you can see one. He's called Militia, though. I mean, that's a misnomer, of course, but yeah, they're just stalking through the ruins, you know. Probably cannibalistic as well. They will attack your units, obviously, so they're not very nice. Now, there are actually relics on the map. You just have to cut through the wood lines in the corner. They're kind of circular, but they're not too thick. Like you hear right here, it's only 4 trees, which is doable. And behind them, there is 2 relics and a Feitoria that you can convert, but does cost 20 population as well. So it's not like you can just convert it and it does nothing. As blue losing a villager, very nice. Very nice teamwork there from yellow and red there, using his early scout there to get a villager with loom. Also kind of stopping the wall up for blue right now, and blue will definitely have to double down here with some vills, and I think 2 scouts, is that still enough? That might still be enough actually to kill this villager. I think that vill is goner as well. Yep, she will go down, but that will be the last vill that yellow can snipe there, so blue will probably not be very happy about that one. Also now, instead of walling this, he's going to wall like this, so that's all a result of that as well, because yellow is being annoying there. So, yeah, that's unfortunate, because now his gold isn't very safe. Has 1 safe-ish gold, has nicely walled around it as well, so I guess we have no complaints there. Now, red, actually, it makes sense that red is going to go so aggressive, because red's map is awful. It is awful. Look at it. Forward gold, and all his extra golds are forward as well. If he gets pushed up at this position at any point, he can just not make archers, and then he's also super far away from yellow. So yellow can't even help him easily. Yeah, that red's position is awful. Like, he will have to be very aggressive if he wants to catch up with that one. Then for orange, he's gotten the wall up on the right side. Very nice. Looking good for him so far. Looking at gray, he's also walling off. Yeah, it's pretty possible on this map. Often case team walls are quite possible, except teal and gray need to wall right there to complete theirs. Teal hasn't really walled yet though, so he doesn't seem too interested in that for now. Now, you probably noticed already, like what I said, as we have some men-at-arms again here from gray in the back of orange's base. That's what all the quick walls were for. Well, the quick walls do succeed, so the men-at-arms won't be able to do much here. But yeah, I didn't actually spot those buggers here. But yeah, as I was saying, right, you can probably tell why Ciudad Fantasma is so closely related to Patagonia. There's less hills. Like, there's actually no hills on this map. It's all flat, so that's the difference. But for the rest, the resources are exactly the same. It's still snowy around the sides. You don't really fight over the middle until the later game. Like, that doesn't really come into play as much, right? And the only gimmick, really, to it is the Vitoria and the relics in the middle, in the corners, right? Which again don't really factor into the early game, so you don't really have to worry about that at all. As Orange brings back this villager, which he was thinking about walling it in. He was thinking about trapping these men-at-arms back in here so that the archers could make short work of that. As gets a scout, that's pretty nice. That was a deliberate thing too, because again, villagers don't attack scouts anymore if they are in feudal age, so we'll see. On the other side, okay, red has walled in front of this main gold. I like that because at least this keeps your gold a bit safer than it would usually be. But still, the position is precarious. If he gets kicked off with this gold, he just doesn't have gold, period. Like, just no gold. Nothing. Because all the gold is right there. And if he wants the gold, he will have to go to yellow space or worse, the middle. So, and there was a hole! Red! There was a hole right there. It looks like there wasn't a hole, but I think red just misjudged that one here. And, well, you know, green and blue happily getting in here. And now look, see, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. Red cannot mine gold right now to make archers. He's actually forced to fight with villagers, or he was thinking about it at least. But that's not going to happen for now. In the meantime, Teal defending at his own base. He's actually farming around his folwark. This farm doesn't actually. These farms don't actually get the bonus. Like, they have to be within 4 tiles. They have to fit in completely within 4 tiles. By the way, that's how it works. So, yeah, you farm around the folwark because you get 10% of your farm up front as soon as you complete the farm. Like, so you build a 250 food farm, you get 25 food as it completes. It's taken out of the farm. So it basically speeds up your farming because that 25 food your villager doesn't have to farm anymore. So it goes a bit faster. Means you have to reseed your farms faster as well, but honestly that's not really a big issue. As Teal taking a fight here on his own without support from Gray, who is still has some archers around as well. But they're kind of separated right now, so I think Teal needs to find a way to link up with Gray because you don't want to be caught off guard. As Red, realizing how precarious this gold situation is like, okay, screw it, I'm going to build a tower. And that is a good tower. I mean, I would have preferred it to see it a bit further forward so that it actually defends all your gold. But at the very least, it's going to stop blue and green from continuously raiding that, so that's good. As now the archers from Grey have met up here with the scouts from Teal. And they're taking a scout engagement here. The scouts from Teal doing better because they have armor. And Purple did not have that armor. And now Orange is about to lose most of his archers here, if not all. You know, he's doing a good job microing away, killing the scouts as he does so. Yo, yeah, that's good. I think he will at least run away with a bunch of these archers. But he lost a bunch. Lost a bunch there. Yeah, 4 archers left. That's not ideal, but I guess he will take it. It's still better to have 4 archers than no archers, right? As another hole! Red! Your base was already really bad anyways. Like, you know, resource layout. And then 2 holes here. It's just not very good for Red. Like, Red is not lucky right now with the position. I mean, this one you should maybe have seen, that one. I guess it's hard to spot, right? It's hard to spot, but yeah. All sorts of idle time again for Red. It's just it compounds, right? Like, more idle time makes you slower, which gives you, you know, it delays your cast lace time, which makes your army weaker. Which allows green and blue to attack your base more, which leads to more idle time. You see how this snowballs, right? It just never ends. And blue has enough military in red base as well to just force fights like this. At yellow trying to get in on the archers there as well with his scouts, but doesn't get any. Yeah, so blue and green will be very happy with that. Red and yellow anxious to fight here. They don't want blue and green to fight further backwards because that's a lot of villagers right there that are chopping wood because he doesn't have the wood for another lumber camp right now. As green takes the fight here against yellow, both of them got upgrades as well, but green does not have bloodlines, so yellow scouts are in theory better, but in the end still loses the fight. And now red is about to lose his archers as well, and ay. looking kind of rough, doesn't it? On the other side, gray and teal are in a fine position as well. It is orange and purple who are on the defensive. So MP is just on the defensive on both sides. And again, I was a bit worried because MP shined so much in the early game on Patagonia, but this time it's just the complete opposite. It is TitoFanClub who are shining in the early game this time around, and MP is just on the back foot on both sides now. Worse so on red side, which I expected red to be on the back foot anyways because of his position, because of the fact that his gold was so bad, which actually wasn't the biggest deal. It was this freaking hole that was the biggest deal. But yeah, blue still has archers alive. He's perfectly happy just to run around, try to delay as much as he can. And red still doesn't have the wood for a lumber camp. He still doesn't have the wood for a lumber camp, man. He can't take wood safely. This wood line is about to get raided as well, so ay. Well, gray and teal don't want to take a risk. You know, they know that the position on the left side is really good because of the blue and green's attacks. So they know that. So they know, let's not take any risks here. As yellow is sending in some knights here to clean this up, forcing blue into a lot of into a lot of micro here. Sit between the wood line. Sit at the choke point. Sit at the choke point because red will delete the lumber camp, and then he still doesn't have the wood for another one. That would have been funny. Imagine if he had gone into the choke point, because red would have probably deleted his lumber camp, and he already didn't have the wood for this lumber camp before. So that was kind of funny. Lots of knights though from purple. So teal will probably want to run away with these scouts. I mean, you can still keep him alive and maybe get a villager, a vill pick here and there. As gray doesn't want to lose the front of his base. He's going to stone gate here just for some extra security. Has a lot of archers alive though, and orange is a bit behind in clicking up the castle, so gray will be able to defend himself there. But yellow is spamming knights. Yellow is spamming knights right now. How many stables is that? Looks like it's 4 stables. 4 stables that are spamming knights. I'm not sure where all those stables are. Oh, there they are. Yeah, 4 stables. So yellow realizes, okay, red's in a pickle, so we need to make a lot of knights here. We can't go boom. We have to make knights. Cumin player, of course, did not go for a Cumin boom. That would have been too risky anyways. But yeah. We'll have to get a lot of military out here to keep red alive. Because red only now clicking up to the castellate, and he's always at risk of losing his gold there. Like, that's always a risk factor for him. Green, though, doesn't quite have the knight numbers yet, and yellow already has +2 on his knights. Could maybe think about trying to kill this army from blue, as he's looking for a way into blue's base, but it looks like blue won't have a lot of holes here. Some reinforcements that yellow could pick up. Very nice. That poor crossbow. He came out of crossbow schools like, yay, let's go shoot some arrows, and like two steps outside of the building and he gets sniped by an enemy knight. Just unlucky Brian things, huh? No luck, Brian. Purple and orange have not really pushed into gray space just yet, so they're still trying to stay behind. Laconey says the wood trick. On blue's base. Uh-oh. What? Did you guys... So, wood trick, do you mean like where you'd look for a straggler and like get it chopped or something like that? Anyway, so nice snipes there for blue, I'm sure. Unfortunately, didn't quite catch that. Yes, okay. Uh-oh. Blue. Yellow is waiting for it. Yellow is waiting for it. And blue... Okay, yeah, that's gonna be a lot of kills for yellow then. Oh boy. Oh, we got some lag there. That's not me, by the way. That's lag from the game. Well, I think that blue was... Yeah, see, there you go. Tremendo lag. They had a lot of lag there then. Yeah, that was a very good attack there for yellow. And oh, blue! Blue! The position was so nice. All you had to do is keep yellow out. Ay, that's a lot of vills down for blue here. He's actually down to 36 now. It's worse than red, so... Yeah, the extra knights there from... the extra knights there for yellow really paying off on that side. On the other side, orange and purple, they're looking for a way into gray space here. And I mean, gray is not like... They're not that far ahead of purple and orange on this side. Like, yeah, they pushed the early armies back, but then they didn't really follow it up with any aggression. So right now... As oh, blue traps in the knights. That's good. Ah, that's pretty smart. So these knights can't get out anymore. Blue has trapped them with a house here, so these knights will go down here. Especially if blue joins in with some crossbow bolts here as well. The poor knights won't be able to get out. That's for sure. Man, these knights die so slowly, man. Crossbows are so weak on their own, man. But that's a lot of crossbows on this side. I mean, blue might have taken some economic damage, but if you're a flank player, you know, you can live with that. You can live with some eco damage. That's okay. You can still spam crossbows. They're not that expensive necessarily. You don't need that many villagers for them. Spamming knights is way more eco-intensive, especially because it costs food instead of wood and gold. And you're more likely to have a lot of wood and gold upgrades than food upgrades. Which there isn't actually a good upgrade to really speed up your farming, right? It's a heavy plow, gives you more carrying capacity, but that's about it. That's about it. As Gray happily snipes some of Orange's archers, and Orange losing a bunch of archers here as well, as Purple is trying to come from behind, but Teal has split up his knights here, is trying to attack on both sides at the same time here, gets through the choke point there, and Orange... Purple is now forced to fight here. He can't run away from this. He's fighting against the knights from Teal, but this time Teal too far away from Gray. He's gonna lose some of his knights. Okay, now realizes that Micro's back close to his crossbows to make sure that the fight becomes more even. But yeah, the start of the fight was good for Purple. He had way more numbers, and Teal is at risk of losing all his knights there. And if Teal loses all his knights, then so can Gray. So they realize that. They're like, okay, we cannot let them fight, kill us completely there. Let's back up here. I'm hearing some attacks here. Oh, there's another fight on the right side. I was already like, where's that fighting noise coming from? As Yellow and Green are fighting it out over here. But Yellow, with the insane knight production, is still going to clear that army. And Blue will have to back up here with some micro of his own. Whereas Green is spamming in some knights. Just here and there, just to distract this army a little bit more. On the left side, we still have an engagement over here. You know, Purple and Teal, you know, still not done with their fight. Orange has a mangonel as well, which is going to be a concern for Gray. On the other side, Red and Blue still taking the fight, but now just a few knights sprinkled in here and there. But yeah, both armies are exhausted at this point. On the other side though, Orange losing a whole bunch of his crossbows as he's trying to fire on Gray. But Gray now joining with his own mangonel gets a hit, and that one does connect. And Orange is losing his crossbows here. This is a big point. If Gray can keep his crossbow mass alive here, I think the advantage now decisively going to Gray and Teal as the fight is being taken here. And Gray should be able to help Teal clear this army. But man, that's a lot of knights there for Purple. So many Teuton knights. And this is the thing as well. Teuton knights with the extra armor and Polish knights which already have the max armor they can actually get. And man, the fight was night or day difference right there. Teal winning that hands down, and Gray should be very careful not to run in too far here. The precarious position for both on both sides here, but TitoFanClub is the one going forward, is the one getting a forward up, and actually denying a castle now from Red that he tried to drop there sneakily, wanted to secure his gold here. That castle should actually ideally go up over here, so it covers both goals. But yeah, Red probably didn't think he could get it up without the map control, which is correct. As you can see, then have the military control to defend that castle. So yeah, that's not going to go up, and Blue will now know that. He saw that foundation, I'm sure, so he's going to be like, yeah, you're not going to get that up, buddy. That's not going to happen. As Green, of course, you know, still keeping a tab here on what Yellow is doing. Yellow's still spamming knights here, trying to build up his masses again. Something that Orange is probably trying to do as well, but the thing with Melee is, again, like... The best thing that Melee have is a very fast imp and then go with Arbalest, right? But I don't think Orange is quite going to get there. As Teal's looking for a hole, and he found a hole, but man, is that a lot of knights there from Purple. Teal does have a castle. I'm pretty sure he has slacked the privileges then. But Purple is on the way to Imperial Age. I mean, it's not like Imperial Age is gonna bring too much for the Pulse player, right? Like, you know, you're not gonna get too much armor out of that. As Yellow and Green again taking a fight here, man. What a slogging match! Both teams fighting for their tournament life, except you know, TitoFanClub is actually fighting for their life because you know they might actually be out if they lose this fight. They will not want to give up a single inch in this case. They know it's all coming down to this, as Red is dropping a castle on the right here to protect himself. Isn't able to get out to these gold, and is going to start running out of the gold in his own base here. As Gray and Teal are slowly brute forcing their way through the base here for Orange, trying to take out his Siege Workshop, which has a mangonel in them, I'm sure, which Orange probably wants to, you know, pop out with and try to hit Gray, but I don't think he's going to get to. I don't think he's going to get to, and Gray realizes that as well. He doesn't want to get close to that. He's not that gullible. He's like, yeah, I know what you got in there, man. I know what you got in there. Now, because the castle is up in the backside, green and blue now have a decision to make. Do we push red from the other side, or do we move over to yellow? But considering red is still alive, I think it would be a mistake to ignore red here. Like at this point, like with orange, you can maybe ignore him and go for purple. As purple now taking a fight here before his upgrades, but again, lots of crossbows around. And this time the fight might be a bit better there, as there's so many Polish knights this time around. Because of Slakta privileges, you can get way more out. The arrow fire from Gray is definitely helping here as well. And if it's a fair matchup, that's good for the Poles and player here. But again, Teuton Cavalryman is insane. It's insane. Gets even more melee armor now. I mean, this is what Teutons were made to do. Force fights and then win with way more armor. As he's now going to get his upgrades, and it's going to get even worse going forward for Teal. So, Gray needs to get the Imperiates fast here and get Arbalest. That's the thing that they need right now. And we have a Hussite wagon! That's the first one I've seen this tournament. I haven't seen a single one this tournament yet. And I've seen Bohemians a few times, but none of them made any. In theory, this should actually help you if you put that Hussite wagon between your crossbows and and their crossbows. Now, red should take half damage here from blue if blue tries to shoot him. But yeah, both players are busy killing knights here. Yellow has more knights this time around, though, so I think blue is going to micro his way right out of there. Trying to micro away there. Blue is also up to Imperial Age, something that red is not. So red, despite defending solidly here, is still on the back foot after all is said and done. Blue's going up to Imp. Teal's going up to Imp. Purple is an Imp. Yellow is not going up to Imp because, again, spamming this many knights does take a toll on your economy, despite having 100 vil. It's going to take a while for him. Green is up to Imp, though. Actually, he makes it to Imp right now, which is why his knight numbers were worse. But now these are going to be Teuton knights. And look at that. 2 + 4, you know. I mean, it's impressive so far that Yellow's been able to make it competitive between the Teuton Knights. Like, you saw how strong the Teuton Knights could be on the other side. On this side, Yellow's just been out-spamming the Teuton player to make sure that that doesn't happen. As Green's dropped the castle, and Red is going to go for a counter-castle because he knows if he loses control here, he loses his gold, but that is never going to get up. It's never going to get up because Blue is here with his crossbows. He's going to position him right next to the castle to make sure that the villagers get sniped, and I think the castle goes up as well. That's got to be a doubt castle then. And with that, Blue takes gold control from Red. Red now just has no gold whatsoever here that he can take. On the other side, Arbalest is in now. So even if you're Teuton with the amazing armor, you're still, you know, your pierce armor isn't any better than any other civilization, cavalry civilization. The only cavalry civ that has better pierce armor on its knights is the Sicilians. That's it. There's no Huscarl Knights. It's kind of weird. That would be very OP, though. They're already really strong. But yeah, Orange is not in Imperial Age. Orange cannot defend himself against the trebuchets here. So yeah, Purple will just have to defend on his own as well. But yeah, now that Teal makes it to Imperial Age as well. These will be Cavalier. They're still Cavalier. They still have the attack upgrade. They can still do damage here. The position for TitoFanClub is just so much better after those huge fights. Just like 10 minutes of straight full fights here. But after that, after all is said and done, the position for Red and Yellow is just precarious on their left side. You know, them being in Castle Age and all. Kind of waiting for Green to get his numbers up again so he can run in here and finish this off as well. You know, get some trebuchets out as well, as we have Paladin now coming in for the Teuton player. He definitely wants to take a fight there, but he knows he can't take a fight. Not before Paladin. Like, if you're going to have to do this, you have to do this... yeah, I have to do this with the upgrade. As ooh, Purple losing a few units there on the way out, trying to get in here. As Teal's very happy to just dive this trebuchet and destroy it. There we go, that will be that. And purple will unfortunately not be able to finish trapping this castle. Trying to get a castle up on the right side as well, but honestly that's just a target for Gray at this point. Yeah, it's just TitoFanClub ends up being in Imperial Age, something that for most players in MP, they're just not an imp right now. They just have nothing to stop this right now. The only one who has that is purple, but purple can't push because orange is kind of dead. So he's forced to take fights like this, which, you know, Teal's fine with that. Look at the queue for Teal. Look at that. Look at it. It's 9 stables producing Cavalier right now. Stacked up privilege is insane, man. Like, look how much military is on the field right now. He's got to have like 100, 200 pop right now. And looks like we're gonna get a game 5, says my little brother in the chat. How you doing right now? Glad you could make it as well. Oh man, that's a lot of Cavaliers. You're doing fine. No, I'm doing fine too, especially watching a great game here. You know, I mean, we had a bit of a hiccups with the games here, but we're all on our way now. And it just looks like we're gonna get a game 5 after all. I just don't see a good way back into this game now for MP. Like they're losing ground on both sides, which is never a good sign. Like even if they wanted to go for trade, that's just not gonna happen anytime soon. As we now have. We have Teuton Scout Cavalry because Green maybe forgot that he can't get the light cav upgrade. These are the strongest scouts in the world, by the way. 9 attack, 5 melee armor, and 2+6 pierce armor. They'd still lose the light cav though. As you can see, it's not even close. That's hilarious though. Green is actually getting Paladin now. I'm glad he's not making more scouts, because that would be bad. As yeah, slowly but surely, Teal and Gray make their way through Orange's base. Orange has already had to relocate so much of his economy, and they called it GG. They realized we cannot finish this off, and we will go to a game 5. Which was nice for you, Ryan. Just chilling, gaming myself, and looking at the stream. Well, I'm glad you could make it. Some relaxing wargaming here, huh? But yeah, what a performance from TitoFanClub, man! And that on a meta map like Ciudad Fantasma, you know, a game that MP won hands down in the first set, in the first game. But this time, MP does lose here versus TitoFanClub, as we're just waiting for people to call it. Wait, they said GG. Why are we not resigning? Or is it like a one player said GG, but then the rest of the team is like, no, we still want to play here. Like, I mean, that could happen, right? That could happen. Okay, there we go. Red calls it first. There we go. Now the GG is called. I guess they just wanted to fight for a second. Maybe purple wanted to take a fight here and there, and GG. Alrighty. Ooh, well, we are gonna go to a game 5. Who would have thought? Well, I'm pretty sure everyone would have thought that, because have you seen these two teams, man? It's crazy. It's crazy. Let's have a look at the statistics there. Yeah, great KD there for blue. You know, definitely on their side to push. Green and blue were definitely doing a great job. Even if green was taking some questionable fights here and there, and definitely that's up to definitely thanks to yellow there. You know, spamming so many cavalry out in the mid game, trying to stall green and blue, which he did for a long time. Even that nice raid on blue's base definitely hurt blue a lot. Set him back. On the right side, it was even more precarious. Like, you know, orange and purple, at some point they looked like they were doing fine, but then the fights that they took there in that 10 minutes, that everywhere on this map, everyone was fighting everywhere. You know, Teal and Gray were able to get the win there, and look at the KD for Gray as well. Lots of kills for him because he didn't lose his army at any point. He kept it alive. And Teal lost a lot of knights, but again, this is a fine KD with pulls. You're up against Teutons, right? You're going to have a bad KD. Teutons have better knights than you, but you can have more knights than Teutons. It's like the Goths. You're like the Goths of cavalry civs, I guess, to a degree. It's kind of like if you combine humans and Poles, you actually have a Goths or cavalry civ. Like humans can spam light cav really quickly, or maybe even Huns, humans, and Poles, right? So Poles have cheaper knights, Huns have faster working stables, and humans have faster cavalry, and also if you want step lancers, they spam faster if you get step husbandry. So that's really those are, if you get that all together, that's Goths for you for as a cavalry civ. Not sure how useful that would be, but you know, a great economy there for the Teuton player. Also the Poles player. I mean, their economies were very solid. The boom for purple was better than green. That's clear from the food count there. But yeah, green and yellow were locked in a titanic struggle for the left side as well, keeping red alive. And red has been alive. Stayed alive for a longer time than I expected him to be able to, and not because Elvika is a bad player. No, quite on the contrary. It's because his base was horrendous. He was isolated from his team, and all his gold was forward. That's rough. That's really rough. So yeah, that's good for him that he was able to do that. And yeah, like I said, purple had a great boom. You know, if you know that orange is kind of in a bad spot, booming your way out of trouble is sometimes the only way out. Unfortunately, it's still going to be almost impossible to push two players with only cavalry. Like, it's really difficult. You just kind of need a flank archer support with that. You can't make archers yourself because that doesn't work. Then you have to split up your army and you have lesser numbers of both. That's just a recipe for disaster. Looking at the timeline, yeah, look at how this game swung back and forth a little bit as well. Those are the good games. Alright, let me update the scoreboard. And we can go into the last game of this set between TitoFanClub and MP. Oh boy, and let's see, what map is that going to be? Oh god, of all maps, it has to be this freaking map, man. It's Iceburn. Prepare yourself mentally. This one's gonna be crazy. Like Oni says, yep. The last home map here for MP is Iceburn indeed. One of the wackiest map in the tournament. So welcome to this 5th game on Iceburn, as we have a very nice Tetris house right there. That fits nicely. That's kind of satisfying. I like that. Let's introduce the players first, and we shall get into the meat of the game. In the red, we have Oveka playing as the Koreans. I like that. In the yellow, we have Kaleke for Boedo playing as the Indians, and I like that as well on this map. In the purple, we have Matasiete playing as the Magyars. Again, like that as well on this map. And then in the orange, we have Franks for Leikoni. And I mean, saving Franks, that's what I said in the first game, that I didn't see Franks. I didn't know if it was banned or not, but it might be that they were saving it for another map. And here we go. Keeping Franks all the way to the end. Oh boy. On the other side, then, we have Teka playing as the... No, we have Capitan Orejita playing as the Bulgarians. I started on the wrong side. In the green, we have Linkin Park playing as the Portuguese. In the teal, we have Toby playing as the Cumans. I like that. And in the gray, we have Teka playing as the Turks. Ooh, that's an interesting pick. Very interesting pick. Now, what do we think about this? Well, how about I first explain the map, and then we can think about whether the civs make sense on this map, right? So, as you already saw, right, all players start in a line. You probably saw it on the mini-map. It's crazy, I know. Red and blue are always the closest to the middle, you know, and all the wood will be in between the players. So, yeah, that's not a lot of wood. Now, there is some extra shorefish that you can take in 6 spots that, you know, follow the line of the wood line, right? It's an actual wood line this time. And yeah, yellow's already telling his teammates, like, yo, that's where the fish is. Let's take that. Because you do not have boars. So if you want some extra food, and you definitely do want some extra food, you'll have to go and take a risk, send some villagers out into the open. Especially dangerous, that is, for these two in the middle, which are bigger, as you can see. They're bigger shorefish cheeses, whatever you want to call it. It just kind of reminds me of like Swiss cheese, you know, with all the holes in it. Anyways, but yeah, red is going to be like, yeah, that's too risky. Let's go to the back one. That's safer. Of course, still, you know, nevertheless, this is still a target for enemy scouts and things like that. Now. For the rest, you have 2 berry bushes, right, instead of 1, which definitely nice for the Franks player because, well, you know, you gather berries significantly faster than any other civ. Still pretty slow though. It's still foraging is still the slowest source of food in the game. Not for Franks, but still overall, you know, it's not the fastest. Got some golds laying around, you know, it's usually sprinkled on either side of your wood line. Not that close to your TC as well, so it's not like terrifically safe. And then we have some extra gold, some extra stones sprinkled here and there across the map. And again, all the golds seem to be on the left side. Like, man, this map has sometimes had the most unfair generations that I've seen in a game. Like, all the golds are closer to MP here. Like, there's one there. If you draw an imaginary line through the middle, like a symmetry line, most of the golds are to the left of that, the extra golds. And I have some stones to the right of it, but even then, stones over here as well. So that's a bit of map luck there for MP. I guess that's Iceburn rewarding them for picking Iceburn, you know? Like, you picked me, so I shall reward you with resources and things like that. Of course, in the late game, you want to expand into the corners, get some map control, get your markets up maybe, because at some point you'll run out of gold. And that's that. That will be Iceburn for you. Now, I mean, most people have already seen this map. You know, it's just, I'm explaining it for YouTube mostly at this point. I think most teams, most players will be familiar with Iceburn. I can tell by the Civ picks, right? Like, I remember the first week, when the first time I saw Iceburn, like, most people were kind of, like, clueless, like, what Civs really work on this map. Like, you got really weird picks. But I think most teams have just figured it out by now, like, what works, what doesn't work. You know, and I mean, I have my own ideas on what works as well. Like, I like Koreans a lot, like, because of the defensive role, right? Like, if you're red and blue, most of the aggression is going to come right through you. And that rhymes, I know. Right, so you can't really boom. There's been instances in which the flank player actually got up the Imperial Age faster than anyone else, which is just, that's unique. That's the exception that proves the rule. But yeah, it's you can't really boom, so you need a civilization that can do damage without too much eco. And yeah, Koreans is one of those civs, as Red is trying to snipe a Wallville there. Doesn't have Loom, so almost got her. But Blue does save her, so that's good. But yeah, in any case, Koreans are good like that with towers, with war wagons, castles, all good stuff like that. I like Bulgarians in that position as well. Krepos. You know, cheaper castles that still do very well. You can have a lot of early aggression with men-at-arms, you know, things like that. Cavalry is pretty strong with Bulgarians as well, especially when you get stirrups in your castle as the unique tech upgrade. It's all good stuff. Let me get a sip of water here. Now, the reason why Yellow is so heavily on fish here is because he's Indians, and Indians take short fish faster. So he's going to take in a lot of food here, which he'll need because he probably wants to go to Castlade straight away. Or just make a lot of scouts. Scouts. Scouts it is. I like that better, actually. Like, the roles for yellow and for green are kind of different. They kind of need to make some military. Right? They're a bit more protected, you know, because they can use blue and red as a meat shield. But they're a bit more protected, but should still make military to help blue and red stay alive, right? You can't just let them die there. As oh boy, MP, they want to snipe villas here. They really do. They really do. They're just waiting for a good moment here. They are, of course, alarming green and blue to the fact that that is indeed the intention from the MP players. So they're trying to wall up their fish. So far, not really working out. As they now spot the scout from Teal, which they could have gotten, but now it's a human scout and it will outrun them easily. But yeah, as I said, that's what red and what yellow and green should do. They should be adding some military to help their flanks. Now, as for purple, orange, teal, and gray, they have an option, right? Especially the guys in the pocket. You can choose to just go for a naked boom. You just wall up, go straight in to Castle Age, then boom into a nice Imperial Age army, or late Castle Age, like depending on your civilization, you can go for something like that. Like, for example, Turks, Imperial Age is really their age to shine, so it makes sense to go up the Imp first. Whereas Franks, if you want to go for a lot of Castle Age knights, where, you know, that makes sense. Although now that they changed the fact they swapped around the unique deck, so now Bearded Axe that gives your throwing axeman extra range is now Castle Age, and Chivalry is the Imperial Age unique deck. It makes more sense here to go to Imp as well with Franks, so you can get Paladins out, so you can get Chivalry, so your knights train a lot faster from your stables, all sorts of good stuff. Also, your paladins are stronger than any other paladins on the field. And as for purple and for teal, I'm not actually sure what purple's plan is yet. I should imagine knights, but Magyars always have the option to go for cavalry archers as well. Especially Imperial Ace to become really strong with the unique tech recurve bow. Gives them extra range and extra attack. Pretty strong. But then again, we have the potential for, I mean, I guess we can get Kipchaks, we can get a lot of cavalry from the human player. He's not going for a second town center just thus far. I think instead wants to drop some stables to go for some scouts, protect the fish. Because as you can see, MP is being very adamant about sticking around here, man. Adamant about sticking around here. And the paladin upgrade are faster with the update. Oh, is that so? Is that so? I didn't know that. Well, there you go. Then there's that as well. As Yellow's kind of scouting around here just to see. Probably also noticing that there's not a lot of resources there for Grey and Teal to expand to. So we'll see how that's going to go. So for now, some spearman protection, on the fish. But yeah, purple running around that, finding ways to snipe vills here and there. But not a lot of vills have died so far. So I think, TitoFanClub will be okay with that. We'll probably try to finish their walls a little bit. You don't want to have to tower this, but purple is very adamant about running around here with scouts. And remember, these are Magyar scouts. They have that attack upgrade for free, which makes it a lot easier to kill your opponent's villagers and scouts. But Teal's making a bunch of scouts right now. It's from 2 stables already, so he's definitely going heavy into the feudal economy. Also has dropped the second town center, so he's telling us I'm going to stay in feudal age a bit longer here. I'm going to go for some extra scout production. For one, to protect our fish, and maybe to see if I can snipe some fish on your base. And blue actually went for some men-at-arms here as well, and is going to get a vill. Doesn't get the villager. Nice fight there with the archers and the villagers there. Very good. Well, purple will probably have to abandon his plans of getting some villagers here. There's not a lot of weak vills you can take. I mean, she's kind of weak, but yeah, there's too much military there for TitoFanClub. They have paid attention to that, so they're just like, yeah, let's deny that. Now, there's a lot of villagers still for MP on the fish in the back here, which Teal should be interested in trying to snipe. Like, at this point, you're not going to get up the castle slates in time to catch up with purple and yellow. You're going to be up against knights anyway, so the best thing you can do with your scouts now is try to get as many kills as you can. Yeah, but yellow is not going up without protecting herself with some scouts as well. Excuse me. Whoa, red! I think red wanted to expand there and then saw the scouts and quickly walled that fish, man. And oh my god. And how you doing, Bossman? And also welcome to chat, because the Twitch says it's your first chat, so welcome. And Teal does find some value now with his scouts there. Doesn't have any upgrades on him, but nevertheless gets these archers from red, which he will be happy with. At least you get some value from your scouts. Some value from staying in feudal age longer. He's gonna stay in feudal age even longer now because he got armor as well, which a lot of food, but I'm wondering if that's worth it, because as you can see, Camel's coming out now for the Indian player. He will be able to defend himself against scouts here, so one person we haven't talked about yet is the Portuguese player. So with Portuguese, right, I have seen a lot of teams pick Portuguese in this position, right, where they put him as the pocket. I am still not really convinced by Portuguese as a civ here. It's because of the mobility problem. Like, Portuguese, for one, have a weak start. That's for one. And they're not that far away from the pressure here, so it's not like they're gonna be unharmed. They have cheaper archers, that's true. Cheaper gold units, As Teal actually gets some villagers as well. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's very nice. Gets 2 villagers there. 3 villagers even. And now yellow and orange are fighting back, but that's some good value. Yeah, the Portuguese, they get cheaper gold units, that's true. But then you're still up against mobility, right? Like, Like, there's going to be camels, there's going to be knights, they can always run away from your archers. So, like, Portuguese do well if it's a slow push forward, right? A slow push forward alongside an axis like that. But red is already going to stop that right now, dropping a castle right here, right in front of blue's base to stop him from moving further ahead here. And blue also is not on stone, so I don't think he's going to be able to drop a... Oh, never mind, I lied. He is on stone somewhere. Where are you on stone? Well, that's some walling right there. Well, blue has actually mined some stone, so he could actually drop a Krapos. It's going to drop a Krapos. That will keep the front of his base a bit safer as well. Very good. As yellow is still fighting these freaking scouts, but this time has some camels. And look how fast the camels make, you know, how fast they kill the scouts there. As the camels also make it to the fish here from TitoFanClub, which they defended so admirably. But like I said, once the camels come out, if Teal's not encapsulates, he won't be able to make anything to defend himself against that one. For one, it won't be able to make camels himself. Humans do make camels, but they are the worst camels in the game, I think. Because you don't get heavy camel. Yeah. They're fine in castle age, I guess, for now. They're faster, that's true. Until husbandry comes in. But yeah, purple and yellow looking to do some damage here with some cavalry, and that's the thing. Like, this is also the thing with Portuguese, right? What do you do with your army now? Are you gonna send it back here to deal with the cavalry raids? Are you gonna chase cavalry around the map, you know, an open map where they can always run away from you? Or are you gonna push forward, but then you are at risk of being attacked in the back by cavalry, right? You see my predicament with Portuguese, right? Like, in theory, it could be good. Especially if you get to Arblast, that'd be really nice. Especially if the wood runs out and you have Victorias, I guess. But, it's just... As red is still denying this Krapos, being very annoying about it as well. Oh, poor blue, poor blue. Yeah, red wasn't really microing this right now, but yeah, blue still can't get the Krapos up. Oh, that sucks. And then you make a mangonel for that. I think red is gonna... Okay, red's gonna abandon that now. He's gonna be like, okay, that was fun though. That was fun, he said. Oof. Well. Well, green is still green. Again, hasn't really done anything with his archers yet. He's getting crossbow now, so at least can do something. Blue's still on stone, so can drop more Krapos, but it's just blue's position is not very good. He's being pushed into his base, doesn't have a lot of space to expand to. Lost his fish as well. You know, there wasn't that much fish left anyways. And red is very happy, and so is yellow. You know, lots of extra fish to be taken here. Now, one thing we haven't talked about is the boom players. Like, how are the booms going so far for gray and orange? Gray is at 73 villagers. That's decent. But orange is at 96 villagers. Yeah, Frank Boom is really strong. He already has a castle up as well as the protection there, and he's going up the imp before the Turk player. Aye. And that's also the thing, right? Like, what do the Turks go for in imp? Like, do we go for Janissaries? Do we go for cavalry archers? Do we go for heavy camel? I mean, that's the thing, right? Turks do not really have that strong heavy cavalry. Like, that's not their strong suit. Like, they're more about the hussar spam and the cavalry archers and the janissaries and the bomber cannons and the gunpowder and things like that. All sorts of guff that's not particularly strong against Frank paladin spam. And at that point, you have to go for heavy camel. You can't go for halberdier because Turks don't even get pikemen. So you see the thing, right? Like, that's why when you pick a civ for the pocket, you got to really think about, what am I booming into? For example, if it had been Goths for orange, right? Then Turks would be awesome. Would be absolutely magnificent. Janissaries against Goths, please sign me up. That's great. But against Franks, I'll have to see. I'll have to see to believe it, because Turks, I mean, heavy camel is probably the best answer they have, but then you still have a problem, which is, what are you going to do with your heavy camel beyond killing gray? I mean, beyond killing orange. Like, you can't really invade their base, like your enemy bases with it. Use that imp to do some damage, right? You can't really do that as green trying to quick all out these camels that are just everywhere from Kalekir. And he has the food for it as well. You know, he has all the fish in the world right now. And MP just has such a nice position right now. Like, you can see all the colors from the left are going forward. The position for red getting better and better as well. Dropping a castle here, which is better than a Krapos. You know, raiding around as well. keeping, again, green, like, it's been chasing knights around. Like, this is fine for the knight players. They don't have to fight this crossbow army, just run around. Run away. And at the same time, when the crossbows are from home, when the braves are from home, you send your army into their base and you snipe their vills, and oh god. And green is probably, like, must be tilted here, man. Oh, man. I can just hear the song now. Yeah, I got too far, got so far. In the end, it doesn't really matter. Yep. Yep. I know the feels, man. Oh, God. And that's the thing, too, right? Like green has to return now to his own base with his crossbows, and then they're just going to run away again. Oh, man. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying. Portuguese as the pocket here, I'm still not convinced by it. And that's not because Linkin Park is necessarily playing bad. It's because you just don't have that many options anymore. Like, you don't have the mobility to strike. Like, there's a lot of open space around. Like, you want to have some knights and raid yellow, for example. So imagine if green had gone for a knight army, just runs around the camels and strikes at yellow's heart, right? See, that would make a lot of sense. That would help you do some eco damage to yellow, because right now you are the one taking eco damage. And instead, like, I prefer it much better if the flank player, like here, like the Koreans, go for Arbalest. That's why Byzantines are a good civ as well. They got fully upgraded Arbalest as well. And this is a role they can do. And just look at red, just fortifying more and more, can start dropping guard towers everywhere as well if he really wanted to. And the position for MP is just getting better and better here. And now also, Paladin. Paladin. And where are those Paladin gonna go? Straight into Gray's economy. Now, blue is defending with some pikemen for now, but yeah, Paladin should be... Frank Paladin should be able to deal with that, that one. Believe me. As yellow on the other side is also like, we should maybe try to break into Gray's economy. Gray did make it to Imperial Age, but he's making Hussars. Ay. I mean, Hussars, they have extra pierce armor. That is true. They're a great raiding unit with Turks. Definitely true. But as I think Gray tried to expand here, but I think his Vil got killed. No, there she is. There she is. She's fine. But light cav, I mean, Hussars are not going to save you against the Paladin spam. And look at that. The Paladins making their way to Teal's economy. And if the pressure on TitoFanClub was bad before, it's going to get worse now. As the camels simultaneously make it to the other side of Gray's base. And now Gray, yeah, now he has to make camels. He's going to have to get a heavy camel upgrade. And that's what I'm saying. Like, what are you booming into as Turks? The only thing that I could see is camels. And that's not the unit you want to be making here. That's not a power unit. I mean, if you're Indian, sure. But if you're Turks, like, that's like the last unit you want to boom into. Like, you want your Janissaries, you want your heavy cavalry archers, things like that. Yeah. But that's just the thing. Like, what do we do at this point? Blue is just completely dead. Green is defending, you know, being kept alive by some Krapos there from blue here and there. But, like, now the orange Paladins are just spamming right beyond this. And, yeah, orange has just had the game of his life. You know, just sit there, boom up, build some stables, spam Paladins, and boom. It's the noob's dream. Right? You know, like you can just sit back and don't have to worry about attacks. And then you can get the Paladin and just kill everyone. You know? Well, Iceburn is a map that makes it possible, which is why it's so important that you pick the right civilization to use for the boom. A civ like Teutons, I guess maybe Khmer as well. A civ like Govs does well in that position. Like any civ that has a very good late game mobile unit. That's the important part. Unless, of course, you are Goths, then no one cares. That's fine. As Gray's desperately trying to keep these camels out, but yeah, it's these are Indian camels. They break through buildings faster than any other camel civ, and now purple comes to join the fray as well. And I'm just not seeing any army response right now. It's just all MP colors all over the base from green and blue and everywhere. It really is. They got so far, but in the end, man, in the end. And they fought like a beast, TitoFanClub. They managed to get back twice into this set, but this just doesn't seem to be their game. It doesn't look like MP can be beat here. And I think they realize it as well. They don't want to resign because, you know, it's the last game. And, you know, they've gone so far in this tournament. They got so close. They were such huge fans of Tito. But in the end, doesn't matter. In the end, unfortunately, MP will get their victory here. I don't think there's any way to stop it now. As more and more callers are getting spammed forward here. It's just waiting for, you know, for TitoFanClub to realize that, to accept that and call it GG here. Yeah, I mean, Turk player is right now, he's trying to make some camels to help himself. You know, try to defend himself, but yeah, as you see, MP is getting closer and closer to having everyone in Imperial Age as well. Paladin's now in the main economy for the Franks player. I mean, he's been able to keep out, great. He's been able to keep out this pressure from the bottom here for a long time, but now you got Paladins in your eco. And everyone knows once Frank Paladins start wrecking your economy, once freaking Castle Age camels are taking out castles, that's how you know what time it is. That's how you know that it's time to call it GG. And after what I said, you know, they can be proud, and indeed the GG is being called here. GG, well played, muchachos, and indeed, yeah, brothers, we are. What a set, and I like the sportsmanship here. That said, I always appreciate good sportsmanship, and TitoFanClub can hold their head up high. They made Tito proud, you know, proud to have good fans like these teams. And man, did they give MP a fight. It's not like MP just waltzed through this semifinal, you know, without any opposition. But yeah, in the end, like, the home map strategy for MP was just very solid. They got control of the fish. They kept control of the fish. They created a nice forward position for themselves, just pressured blue more and more. And they had a great boom civilization there for the free boom in the pocket. I mean, Franks is a fine sip for that. Like, no argument there. I mean, who's going to disagree with that one, right? Like, Franks get the Imperial Age and you get the spam Paladins. Like, that's the literal dream. The literal dream. And the beauty of it is that no one can stop you. No one can stop you. That's the whole irony of the pocket set. Like, you can literally put whatever you want in the pocket here. Go to your Imperial Age army. The opponent might know that it's coming, but they can't really stop it because of the aggression from MP's teammates, you know, of Orange teammates in the front. Like, at no point did TitoFanClub ever have a position forward on MP. Like, at no point was there a counter raid even, like a really strong one to kill villagers. And I think that also comes down to Civ choice. Like the cumin pick, right? That's nice. You know, go for a 2TC boom, but the problem with that is you don't go to Castle Age in time. Yellow had a lot of camels out, and so did Purple before Teal actually started joining with his own knights. Portuguese picked. Yeah, you don't have the mobility. You don't have the mobility to just run around and raid, right? It takes forever to get the crossbows to the other side if you want to do damage, and then they'll most likely just die. And in the end, you have Turks, which against Franks, yeah, how do Turks beat Franks? Beyond just going for heavy camel rider, which he did. You know, he was defending, but then you have heavy camels with Turks, which are nothing special, right? They're not special in any way, really. And what are you gonna do? Like, you're gonna kill MP's economies with camels? Like, there's a reason why camels are seen as trash units to a degree, because they don't have very high attack. They're only good at countering other cavalry, and that's why I question the Turks pick. Not as because Turks are a bad pick for this position, it's because they were up against Franks. Which, yeah, honestly, if you even think about it, maybe even putting Cumans in the back spot would have been better, right? Like, let the Cuman player boom, right? It will get to Imperial Age with more villagers faster than for the Frank player, and then, yeah, at least you have Paladin to boom into, right? Like, that's good. That's good. That works. But yeah. Even Portuguese? Nah. Same with Bulgarians. Bulgarians, Portuguese are more, yeah. I don't know. Well, let me update the scoreboard here because I don't really know what I was thinking with that tangent there. We'll have a look at the statistics for just a second because I'm sure that people want to see the amount of kills and things like that. Nice score lead there for Orange. No surprises there. I mean, look at the military score. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, that's what you get when you get the spam Paladin. And look at the KD. 287 kills, 49 kills. And we saw only half of that because most of that was just happening all over and it was impossible to keep track of all of that. Oh my God. Oof. Yeah. And in the end, the fights that were taken overall, like, were just, I mean, they were even-ish, you know, before, but Yeah, the three quote unquote flank players for MP did their job. You know, they delayed enough for Orange to get a really nice boom going, and they didn't even not just delay, they got a great position forward as well. Great economy there for Orange, of course. Yeah, that's what you get. You get into nice boom. Was ahead of Gray as well, and it's the thing. Turks don't have a great economy bonus to really help him get up the Imperials faster. Where Franks get their farm upgrades for free. That really helps. You know, your farms are immediately better, and the forage bonus. You know, so yeah. Yeah, what can I say? As soon as Orange joined the fray, they were already behind TitoFanClub, but then Orange joined and it's like, and that's Paladins for you. It's just, what do you do against that? Well, Gray unfortunately was not in time to save his team there. It was too late by the time that he started making enough camels. So, GG.